Hi, my name is Amanda and welcome to my channel. If you have not seen the first video that I did explaining what this 100 best fantasy books and series is, go check that out first. And that way you'll get a review of all the books that I have already read and it'll get you caught up to where I am now. This is the second video in this series talking about the 100 best fantasy, and this came from Klaus at the Contradictorian. I will make sure I put his link below, and I am creating a playlist of his videos where he talks about the 100 best fantasy books. He's making his own ranking system, and he's going 1 to 10, or he's doing 10 books or series in each of his videos. So there'll be 10 videos in there, and I will have that linked below as well so that you can check that out. Now, the good news is, I guess, that I've made some changes and some decisions about how I'm going to be reading this. The bad news is I've only finished one book since I made my last update. So let's look at what we have right here. So this is where the list starts. And last month in that video, I talked about Throne of Glass, which I had finished. I talked about Homeland, and I talked about the First Law trilogy. What I decided to do was I already had the Lord of the Rings trilogy listed as me reading all 3 of the books, and I had the same thing for this Homeland. I don't know what the trilogy is called, but it's the first 3 books about the life of Drizzt. And so I already had those 3 books picked out, and I already own them. But for the rest of the series that Klaus put on the list, I'm only going to read the first book. And then if I like the series and want to continue with it, I'm going to move it over to my Storygraph TBR so that it will come up over there and I can just add it to a regular reading month whenever it comes around. So I will eventually read probably most of these series. We'll just have to wait and see. So for right now, though, here's what it looks like. You can see that last time, like, I had the whole Malazan, I think that is what it's called. I had that whole series here, and now I just have book 1. The same thing for the Robert Jordan. This is the Wheel of Time series, and I had all of that. Now I just have the first book. And so I did that with all of these for the first, I don't know how far I went down, probably just right here, because you can see now it says Witcher series. So that's as far as I went through the first like 18 or 19 books, and just put the first book that I'm going to be reading in that series. And then if I like it, like I said, I'll move it over and I'll talk about it in a regular wrap-up video that I do. Django had to come say hi. Do you have a favorite fantasy book? No, not really. You just want to sit with me? Okay. So, as you can see on here, the ones that are in bold are the ones that I'm currently reading. And so, The Fellowship of the Ring, I am currently reading. I think The Silmarillion is going to be on here until I finish all 100. Like, it is such a hard book to read. So, I'm still working on that one. And I have not started Exile, even though it's bold on here. So that will be coming up next. The only thing that I have finished is Dragons of Autumn Twilight. So we'll turn around in just a second and I will talk about that one. But that means that coming up, I'm going to be working on, for October, I'm going to be working on The Two Towers and Exile and Sojourn both. And hopefully I can finish those 3 books by the time I see you next. So hopefully that will work out. And when I do another update, I will have more books to talk about instead of just one. But let's flip around and talk about the one book I finished. Okay, Dragons of Autumn Twilight. Let me look at, I want to get the authors right, is by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. I will scoot over here so I can put it up there. This in Klaus's list is book number 5, or number 5 on his list. Did not love this book. Now, I loved the side characters, the NPCs, as if you will. This just read so much like a D&D campaign, and I know that's what it's supposed to be, and that is exactly how it fit and how the characters, like, they seem to all fit into the party. And what's happened is this group of people knew each other before and had adventured before, and now they've come back together. It's been 5 years, I think, and they've come back together. And when they all get together, it's like, oh, we have another job to go and do. We have something else to go and do. So if I was playing this as a D&D person, if I was playing this campaign, I would have loved the Gutter Dwarves. Now, they might have annoyed me at some point after a while, but I loved them. They made me laugh. I liked them. I liked all of the NPCs, actually more than I liked some of the main characters. I didn't like how our main characters were suspicious of each other, like, right from the beginning. Like, you know these people, you traveled with them, and now all of a sudden you don't know them. Like, I don't know. Maybe there was a reason that they broke up and I just don't remember, but I don't remember there being a reason other than everybody kind of went their own way and now they're all back. But when I play D&D, I like it to be as cooperative as possible, and so all of these constant suspicions would have driven me crazy as a player. And I think the only person I would actually want to have in my for real D&D party was Tass. Like, the rest of them were just too much. So overall, it was a okay book for me. I have heard that the other books in the series are actually better, like they get better. But for right now, I think I'm just going to put this series on pause. I'm going to keep reading more books on this fantasy list, and maybe I'll find some more series that I just love. So thanks for watching. I will see you in my next video, and I will see you next month to talk more about the 100 Best Fantasy List. Bye.